I'm Will. Was I so annoyed by the exploding bag of nuts that I came back a different day to record? You bet I was. And welcome to Inspired By. In this series, we delve into a particular area of production and I try to make up for my lack of success in the music industry. Right now, we're looking at everything phase plant. If you didn't see my last episode, make sure you hop over to that one. I've left it in the description below. You can check that out and then you can jolly back this way. Today, we're looking at this. Yep, we're looking at a rhythmic Neuro Synth. I'm not actually sure if that's its official name. In particular, we're looking at this little badger. So the idea here is that I show you how to make that initial patch, and then all you have to do is make iterations of that by layering, and then you can create all of these different synth textures. Let's jump into it. So I've cleaned up my project and all I'm left with are the drums and our empty phase plant patch. I've drawn in 3 notes on the piano roll. This is going to be our main source of input for phase plant, and I've drawn it around F2. Alright, so we're in our generator section and I'm going to choose an overdriven sine. It's just inside wavetables, and this is just a basic sine wave that changes to a square wave over time. I'm going to set it to frame 45, and this is just going to travel through its wavetable position and create a bit of movement. As I mentioned, you want to set the semitones down to about 24, 2 octaves. The reason for this is that you want a centralized mono position. If we set it to 2 unison, it's going to have a parallel stereo sound. That could create some phase when we add movement to this synth. I'm going to bring the detune to about 16. We don't want to detune it loads. I'm going to bring the blend down to 45, spread to about 20. So now the mono position should be our main peak in this sound. Let's add an LFO to our modulator section. And with this, we're going to draw the sync to a bar, so 4/4. We'll leave the retrigger as it is, but we're going to set a unipolar pattern, and we're going to draw a custom wave position. Let's set the x-axis to 16 and the y-axis to the same. And if you pinch this node here and move it across, it'll click to the positions that you want it to. If you hold command and click this node, then we'll have a much more smooth position. As we did in the last video, if we attach this LFO to our level, this is the sound that we'll have. You might need headphones for this one. Cool, so we've got a pulsing sub sound. This LFO we're going to end up attaching to most volume, cutoff and phase frequencies. Think about this LFO like the resident fuckboy. He's out here trying to chirp all the ladies. We all know he's a creep, but there's something likable about him. So after this, we're going to do the same with the frame position as well, to about 50%. I'm going to add a sine and do the same with the semitones. Leave the unison as it is, so we have this centralized subby sound. Level all the way down, touch the LFO. Now I'm going to add a noise generator. This is going to give us a sense of distortion and loudness and a high-end frequency. The slope needs to come all the way down. I'm going to bring the level down as well, but with the LFO this time, I'm just going to add 1% of noise. Just like in real life, the 1% add a little bit of anarchy to our world. So we're over halfway there. This is my favorite bit. We're going to add an evolving wavetable. I'm going to do this under a new group because we're just going to use this as our main source of FM. So I'm going to add a wavetable. I'm just going to choose something from the evolving tab, Fasis or Faces. Once again, unison 3. A little bit of detune, no spread, blend at 45. I'm just going to choose a mid frame here. And for the first time we use FM, we're just going to have this phase modulate itself for about 7%. You can see that it adds some kind of distorted frequencies there. Same as before. Level all the way down, LFO all the way up. I'm going to add some distortion, take the drive down a little bit. I'm going to set it to saturate, and we're going to add an output. With this, we don't want to hear it, so we're going to bring the gain all the way down. Think of this as like FM from B in Serum. With this output, we're just going to scroll up, and we're going to use this to phase modulate our first overdriven sine, just a little bit, 4%. Sick! Let's add a second LFO. With this one, we're going to leave it completely free. So 4/4 again. Turn retrigger off so it just continuously moves. It doesn't retrigger every time we press something on the keyboard. And again, I'm just going to phase modulate a couple of things. So I'm going to take this plus. I'm going to take it firstly up to the phase here. Maybe move it 4% this way. You can just be kind of random with this, mess about. 4% this way. Remember what Bob Ross said.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I think I'm also going to attach it to the frames of this, and we'll see what this sounds like. dial it into taste. I like that much better. Sick, that's essentially our patch. Now we're just gonna add effects. First effect, Haas. No idea how to pronounce that. More distortion. There's gonna be loads of distortion in this synth. Add the LFO to the mix, just so at the end of every pulse, the distortion comes up. Bring that mix down. Alright, so this is super cool. We're gonna add a phaser. I got this tip from Artifacts on YouTube. He uses phaser to dial in particular frequencies that you wanna bring out of a noise. To do this, you bring the rate all the way down. Now our phaser's not moving, and we can use the cutoff and depth to just dial in that frequency. Just create a notch filter, and we'll have the notch filter move through the EQ again to create a little bit of movement inside our synth. I'm gonna do the same with a peak filter here. More distortion! Take the fuzz down. I'm not a monster. But we will bring the drive up and we'll bring the mix up, turn it down again. We're just adding distortion as the synth moves towards its latter part of the notes. Make it wide! Now we will add color, we will add color. Cool, so this is the sound we're left with. After that, all you want to do is just add a little bit of channel EQ. Take out some of those naughty frequencies that are sitting in the way. I find that the 200 to 500 Hertz region is particularly troublesome. Maybe add an instance of OTT and a bit of a glue compressor to just bring the sound together. If you don't know how to do this, let me know in the comments and we'll go through it in a future video. You can bounce them in place, add more differentiation with the EQ and create... It's Sunday, who is shouting? Keep it down, I'm trying to make a video. And you'll create a nice synth sound that sounds like it evolves over time. So there you go, I hope you guys found that helpful. As always, make sure you like this video, leave a comment for what you want to see in future, subscribe to my channel because I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers so I can quit my shitty day job. And if you're interested in more music from me, tutorials, and in the future sample packs, then you can visit the description below, go to my website, and you can purchase any of the beats that I'm putting out at this time as well. Catch you next time, take care.
I did it, I completed another video.